Hello, welcome back to Sony Mind. Imagine a naughty guy went out looking for trouble. As he was walking along the street, he passed by a high-end hotel. So he went into the lobby. And guess what? Dumped a bagload of garbage all over the hotel lobby floor. Do you think he should be fined for making a mess? Now let's imagine situation 2. Once upon a time, somebody woke up feeling less well. But fortunately, it is not the COVID-19 virus, so don't panic. He has to get some very important errands done. For example, getting some tax documents and fixing his cell phone. As he was walking along the street, he began feeling more and more unwell and felt that he must vomit. He does not want to make a mess on the street, so he went looking for a washroom. Therefore, he went into a high-end hotel running for the washroom. But unfortunately, he didn't make it and vomited all over the hotel floor. Not in this bag, but on the floor. How embarrassing. Do you think he should be fined for making a mess? Most likely, you'll probably think that person 1 should be fined for littering, but person 2 should not be fined for making a mess. I believe that the reason in which the second person should not be fined is that it's important to distinguish between controllable I and uncontrollable I. Controllable I is the part of I that either you can directly control and or is a fundamental part of your identity. For example, controllable I am giving a presentation right now. Controllable I really love public speaking. Uncontrollable I, on the other hand, unfortunately, is part of I that one cannot directly control. For example, uncontrollable I feel really tired right now. Uncontrollable I feel really energetic right now. Uncontrollable I didn't feel great last night, but fortunately not the COVID-19. You get the point. My advice is to treat uncontrollable I as another person to be influenced to your benefit using specific tactics, instead of the same thing as controllable I. For example, one should never punish controllable I for the action of uncontrollable I. Use specific tactics to try to influence uncontrollable I to serve controllable I. For example, controllable I going to exercise more often to build a healthier uncontrollable I, so controllable I can live better. It is detrimental to mix them up, consider them the same thing, and try to use brute force perseverance like a North Korean soldier. It is much better to think like a scientist and use specific and long-term meaningful strategies to improve uncontrollable I. Mixing them up can have disastrous consequences. Let's say if Bob stole my wallet, do you think it's fair if I go beat up Mary? No, it's not. In fact, a study by the American National Institute of Health shows that punishing children for bedwetting causes psychological health in adulthood, such as depression. The fundamental problem in such cases is that the parents are mixing up controllable I and uncontrollable I, in which they are punishing controllable I for the action of uncontrollable I. Instead, a more philosophically valid way to deal with the problem is to treat it as a specific problem and try to use specific ways to solve. For example, avoiding water intake before bedtime, going to washroom right before bed, or seeing a doctor if the problem persists, etc. Fun fact of the day, I noticed that how much you go to washroom at night time is more about metabolism than water intake. Therefore, you don't need to restrict your water intake before bed like a North Korean soldier. In conclusion, one can see that controllable I and uncontrollable I are two totally different entities, as if they were two completely different persons. The right thing to do is to treat uncontrollable I as another person to be influenced using specific tactics to your benefit, instead of confusing them up and try to solve everything like a North Korean soldier using brute force perseverance. Mixing them up can have disastrous consequences. I hope that by applying this philosophical life hack, your life can become much better, in which you can train your uncontrollable I to serve you better. Thank you.